Okay, I will set the audio to maximum. Okay, so I've accidentally opened. Okay, let me close this and open up this file first. Okay, so there are a number of audio applications that I use. Okay, one of them is GarageBand. I do not actually create a sound effect within GarageBand, but I use GarageBand to mix multiple sound effects to create a more interesting sound effect with much more character in it. Okay, so let's save this as impulse. Underscore animation. Okay, let me increase the volume on OBS. Okay, so it's currently at maximum. Okay. So we'll get the sound effect file that we have chosen just now, which is this. Wait, no, it's this. Okay, and we'll add it to the sound effect impulse animation file over here. Okay, do let me know if you still can't hear the sound effect. Okay, by the way, this is the sound effect you might hear when you use impulse, but okay, we won't use this as it is. Okay, we will usually add a second sound effect to make it more interesting, to mix them up. Okay, so instead of starting with creating the sound effect for when you use or when you fire impulse, okay, we'll create a sound effect first for the blast animation. Okay, so by itself it sounds like this, but if we include this, it sounds rather different. Okay, but let's not stop at this. Okay, let's put it away and let's try a different combination to see if we can find something even better. Okay, so when we are finding the right sound for the animation, try to visualize the animation in your head while listening to the sound effect. Okay, remember the blast of impulse. Okay, let's try this. Okay, if we do not use this, okay, currently we're at minus 10.5 dB. So it seems like the first sound effect is too loud and it overcovered the second one. So to balance it out, we have to increase the volume. Okay, so now we can hear the second sound effect slightly. So that means it might not be that suitable for this sound effect. 3.8. Okay, let's bring it back to 10. Okay, it was 10.8 or 10.5. Okay, let's bring it back to 10.5. Okay, and let's try a different combination. Okay, sometimes this might take a while because we do not want to settle for any sound effect. Okay, we want to make sure that it sounds right for the animation. Okay, let's try this combination. Okay, so this second sound effect increases the explosive atmosphere of the animation. Okay, as it sounds like this. Okay, let's increase the volume and see and hear what happens. Okay, now it's too loud, so let's try 6.0. Okay, so this combination is not bad as it complements the priming sound effect in that it creates a more explosive type of atmosphere. Okay, so we'll keep this sound effect over here as one of the choices that we'll use for the combination. Okay, let's try this. Okay, sometimes maybe 2 sound effects will be used to mix up a sound effect that you will hear in the game, but sometimes I will use 3 if necessary. Okay, so with this sound effect, the combined sound that you hear has a little twinkling towards the end. Or we can do something like this as well. Wait, okay, remove it here. Hey, Illegal Max, welcome to the White Sponge live stream. How's your day coming along? Okay, right now we are creating sound effects for one of the new abilities that we have just added to stars. Okay, and sometimes we might not know if a sound effect is suitable for the game unless we test it in the game. So now I'm going to export this and test it in the game. Okay, so this is the exported sound effect. Okay, and we'll use Audacity to change the format of the file. Okay, I'll also sometimes use Audacity to record sound effects or voice overs if necessary. Okay, now that we have the WAV exported, we can add it to the game itself. Okay, so this is the newly imported sound effect. We have to make sure that we do not set it as a 3D sound. Okay, so for impulse, okay, the animation clip is over here, so we'll drag and drop the clip over to the animation clip slot over there. Okay, so now this will play the sound effect for when the impulse animation goes off. Okay, but since we have not added the sound effect for impulse other animations, okay, you will only hear the sound effect for when the animation goes off. So now when impulse is used, okay, so that was the sound effect within the game. Okay, but if we listen to it over here, okay, it sounds different. Okay, and that's because we need more channels to play the sound. Okay, as each audio channel in Unity can only play one sound effect at once, so we'll need to use another channel to do so. Or you can refer to them as audio source in Unity. Okay, so okay, for impulse, okay, we'll add a new audio source that will be used to play the sound effect. Okay, so over here, instead of using the sound effects player, we'll just use audio source. Let's see. Oh, okay. So it's not called audio, it's just audio. Okay, let's try the sound effect again. Okay, so now the sound effect plays correctly as how we want it. Okay, so one tip over here is not to use impulse in a really small area, as you will get caught up in it. Alright, so what do you think of the new sound effect? Okay, by the way, we will still need 2 more sound effects for when the projectile bounces and for when you shoot the projectile. Okay, so the next sound effect that we will need is for when the projectile bounces off every wall. Okay, so let's close this since we do not need it anymore. Okay, let's save this as impulse underscore bounce. Okay, let's go back to our sound effect files and see if we can find something suitable for when the projectile bounces. Okay, so before we do that, or while we are doing that, try to visualize when the projectile is bouncing and try to listen to the sound effect at the same time. So when imagine the projectile bouncing, so the sound effect will be played quite frequently. So something like this, played multiple times, can be irritating. So it's definitely not suitable. Okay, so that means it's time to go back to BFXR. Okay, something that I will do sometimes is to get a random effect. Okay, there are a lot of options on the left, but randomize. Okay, I usually use randomize as it will usually give you much more interesting sound effects than the rest. Okay, let me know if the volume for the sound effects over here is too soft or too loud. Okay, so sometimes if you get something like this, okay, you can change the settings over here and the sound effect itself will change rather drastically.